with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Molly Samora. First, we begin this morning by remembering 9/11. As we continue to honor and remember the lives lost on that day in 2001, Erie County's annual 9/11 ceremony is back to being a public event this year. The plan is to gather at 8:30 tomorrow morning, with the service itself set to start at the same moment the first plane hit the towers, 8:46 a.m., all right in front of the Blasco Library at Erie's Bayfront. Erie News Now will be there live for that service. If you plan on going, heads up that organizers say face mask will be required. And there are several other memorial services happening across the area tomorrow to remember 9/11. One of those events happening right at Mercyhurst University. It'll be held right in the middle of the campus, aimed this display of American flags. Tomorrow, starting at noon, the university will hold a brief memorial observance at the flagpole. This whole event is organized by the ROTC and veterans personnel. It'll include a color guard singing of the national anthem, remarks from the chaplain, along with taps and a closing prayer. And other places holding special ceremonies on Saturday are in Warren County at the Warren County Memorial Park. That's starting at 2 p.m. And over in Crawford County, the event begins at 6 p.m. at the Crawford County Fairgrounds, where you can climb 17 laps to symbolize the steps needed to reach the 110 floors of the World Trade Center. And our Eva Mastromatteo is on assignment in Shanksville. She spent the day there on Thursday talking to a family member of Flight 93 passenger, those working to educate others about the memorial and people seeing it up close.
In Somerset County here, the Flight 93 Memorial sits on 22 acres of land. It is a place where so many say there's healing. And there is so much to take in. Since the moment we arrived, we've been capturing it all. And so have the people, many of them seeing it for the very first time. Victoria and Todd Bray are in awe.
They did a beautiful, beautiful job. Inside tells you the history. You see the people, you see their faces. It's just amazing to me. Just beautiful. And the things that people have left behind, and even things that they found from the people to get back to their families, is just beautiful.
The couple, wearing matching T-shirts depicting the 20th anniversary of 9/11, say the crash site takes on real significance as they are both retired from the airline industry.
The world changed drastically for us for the rest of my career, and I retired 15 years later, still as a captain, still flying, enjoying my travels, but with a whole sense of responsibility that was dramatically more intense than before anything like this had ever happened.
For the 20th anniversary, a big ceremony is planned actually on Saturday, where former President George W. Bush will return here to Somerset County. And in the white tents behind me here, that is where the ceremony will take place. Vice President Kamala Harris will also be here as well. We're also told that nearly 500 family members of those who were aboard United Flight 93 will also be here to mark the 20th anniversary as well. In Somerset County, Eva Mastromatteo, Erie News Now.
And stick with Erie News Now for a series of special 9/11 reports today and tomorrow. Then wake up with Mark and Brissa Saturday morning for a special edition of Erie News Now Sunrise. We'll have live special coverage on Erie CW and right here on Facebook Live. It's local coverage you can count on. And lots of reaction coming in this morning to President Biden's new federal vaccine mandates for millions of Americans. The president last night rolling out details of his administration's new plan to combat COVID-19. It's an all-out effort to increase COVID-19 vaccinations and curb the surging Delta variant. The government's new rules mandates all employers with more than 100 workers require them to be vaccinated or get a weekly COVID test. He also announced workers at healthcare facilities that receive federal Medicare or Medicaid will also have to be fully vaccinated. And the president is also asking parents of teenagers to get their children vaccinated, pointing out that mandatory vaccinations in schools are nothing new. Biden's also asking entertainment venues and arenas to require vaccinations or proof of negative tests for entry. And the president had some choice words and stiff policies for people who refuse to mask up on airlines. Federal fines will be doubled for airline travelers who refuse to wear masks.
If you break the rules, be prepared to pay. And by the way, show some respect. The anger you see on television toward flight attendants and others doing their job is wrong. It's ugly.
The federal government's also sending additional support to schools. That includes more tax dollars for testing. And when it comes to the pandemic, for the first time this new school year, a COVID-19 outbreak is forcing a local school to close. At least 10 students at Cambridge Springs High School have tested positive for COVID-19, with more results pending. So the school is closing for the next 5 days. More than 60 other Cambridge Springs students are said to be quarantining after possible exposure. Just a week into the school year, leaders say the football, soccer, cheer, and cross-country teams already are being affected. The school is closing until next Tuesday, the 14th. Students will learn online through Google Classroom, and all extracurricular activities, including sports, are canceled until then. And we want to bring now in our David Walter. This morning it was a little bit chilly, so what can folks expect for the rest of the day?
Yeah, we've still got that cool fall-like air in place. We've been kind of looking for maybe some water spout development out there on Lake Erie. You can see the lake right there. This is kind of looking down the western side of the area, and we've got some of those dark clouds overhead, and they will continue to move on through a couple of very isolated showers. A lot of times when you get those little showers to pop up over the lake, you can sometimes get those water spouts. 61 degrees right now as we do deal with some of those areas of clouds. Winds from the south at just 5 miles per hour. Out there in Warren, bright and sunny, and we got green bars into the afternoon. Maybe just a very, very slight chance of a shower this afternoon. Temperatures right now, we are only at 61 degrees, and that's because we did have a shower pass by the airport, so that has kept those temperatures cool. 59 into Meadville, you can see 59 in Jamestown. Temperatures certainly not warming up too quickly for today. Very fall-like, and just that stray shower chance. Really much of the area will be on the dry side as we continue through today. You can see, yeah, we did have some of those larger showers out there a bit earlier, but right now we'll continue with more of that northwesterly flow, and we may be able to get another shower or two over the next few hours, but certainly nothing that's going to be very widespread. This is what Futurecast is kind of showing us through the next couple of hours. Maybe a lingering shower around lunchtime, back into the higher elevations during the afternoon. Mainly dry, partly cloudy skies. And we'll keep the dry weather going as we head on into the weekend. At least Saturday, I've now bumped up rain chances just a little bit for Sunday, but the big bump up is going to be those temperatures as we do move our way through the weekend. So it's certainly going to be some warm stuff, but cool stuff, even chilly for some folks as we kick off some high school football games across the area. Our game of the week is Girard and Fairview, and you can see those temperatures out there, lower and middle 60s. Your zone outlook for today: temperatures will get into the upper 60s, pretty close to that 70-degree mark as we do deal with those partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Very stray shower possible in the Crawford County as we get into the afternoon. That goes for Warren County as well. Highs upper 60s, maybe a few spots get into that 70-degree mark. But we'll talk more about the temperature trend over the next few days in just a moment. Molly?
Thanks, David. And this is a live look at the 9/11 memorial this morning in New York City as we continue to remember 9/11 ahead of its 20th anniversary tomorrow. 343 firefighters died in the line of duty on 9/11, a single day that changed the world. And local first responders will never forget the sacrifice made by so many on that Tuesday morning. Mike Ruzzi reports.
And one of my friends came over to my workstation and said, "Jerry, you're not going to believe this, but an airplane hit one of the Twin Towers in New York City."
Westridge Fire Chief Jerry DeRosa was working at GE on the day of the attacks.
I wanted to go to New York City. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to drop what I was doing and get in my car and drive to New York City.
Westridge Tower Lieutenant Brad Jacobson was in the 5th grade in 2001. Years later, when he watched documentaries about the attacks, he marveled at how firefighters climbed flights of stairs with over 130 pounds of equipment on their backs.
Just to think of what was going through those guys and gals' minds as they're walking up these stairs going, what are we going to find? You know, what is the initial crew going to find when we get up here? And then they've got people coming down the stairs.
And many knew they weren't coming out, and that's even more incredible.
Yeah, and had How do you go into a situation like that knowing this is it?
The more the Westridge volunteers talked about 9/11, the more emotional they became.
How much does it inspire you today, Steph?
It inspires me to keep going because those guys kept going. They kept going until the very end when they couldn't.
An observation of the 9/11 attacks and to honor the lives lost on that tragic day, there will be a memorial service in stair climb event at the Crawford County Fairgrounds tomorrow. It gets underway at 6 p.m. and the fee is $25, with all those proceeds going to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. And we want to bring back in our David Walter. What's the 7-day forecast looking for us? Any warm weather?
Yes, certainly. We've got the warmer stuff coming back for Saturday and a Sunday. Maybe a few isolated showers. A little wave in the atmosphere comes on through. Could kick up a couple of those showers as you're maybe doing a little at-home tailgating. We got Sunday football, and all the area teams will be featured on WSCE. Monday into Tuesday, we're still in the 80s. A few more showers front coming in. By the middle of the week, that will kick up those rain chances. Temperatures may come down a little bit on Thursday, but you can see we're back into that summertime stretch with 5 straight days at least 80 degrees.
And thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Our next news is coming up at noon on WSCE. We'll have continuing coverage on 9/11 throughout your weekend. Make it a great day.